Hello, I'm Ken Lebo, and today we're going to talk about how to maximize your performance on your home Wi-Fi wireless network and to fix any issues you may be having. Issues like, for example, you're doing a Zoom meeting and the video freezes or the audio goes out, or you're trying to stream a movie on Netflix on your smart TV and all of a sudden you see that famous buffering circle swirling around on the screen, or streaming something on YouTube on your iPad or your smartphone and having the same type of freezing and buffering and things like that, or just slow performance loading things on web pages on a website, opening up a website, for example. So there's a lot of reasons these issues or performance problems you may be having, but one thing that's a huge factor is the fact that everybody's home now because of COVID since last year. People are working from home, kids are doing school from home, so you have a lot more people in the house. You also have your neighbors that are home, which could also be interfering and hurting your performance. And the more devices that you buy, home automations like security systems and smart TVs and smartphones and computers and tablets and just equipment that just checks the internet all the time that you could be buying just on normal devices or smartwatches, things like that, all use your home wireless network and could be contributing. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to fix those problems and maximize the performance of your home wireless network. And we're going to address it in three areas. We're going to talk about your internet service, which has to do with the speed and bandwidth, signal strength, which has a lot to do with both your equipment that you're using and how you set up that equipment, and getting a little bit more detail about how to analyze and to find out where there could be dead spots. If, like in a house like mine, I live in a house with 2 stories and we actually have dead spots in our house. How do we find it and address it? Okay. At the same time, you could be living in a big city in a small apartment and having having other types of problems around your performance. So we're going to show you how to give you some tools, show you some free tools on how to do that, and we'll tell you what everything costs in general. But please remember this: if you are working from home, I don't know if your company, if you're self-employed, it can be your internet equipment and service can be written off as a business expense, or if your employer may be paying for or paying for part of your internet service and equipment to do work from home. So always try to take advantage of that or inquire about that. Okay, I would recommend that you have, with your internet service provider, have at least 200 megabits per second internet service. I recently upgraded to 400 megabits, and I'll tell you the cost after what I paid for it. I was at 200 and I upgraded. So now I'm on the second floor. I'm using the Spectrum on my iPhone, the Spectrum speed test for my iPhone. And let's see what I'm going to get here. So I'm really far from my router. And I'm supposed to be at 400 megabits per second. And it looks like I did 469. Pretty good. And I'm really far from my router. But I'll tell you why I have really good speed when I tell you about the mesh network that I installed. But speed is very important. My upload speed is around 23. So again, 200 megabits per second is what I would recommend on your service provider. And at 400 megabytes per second, if you can upgrade to that or faster, would be even more ideal. Okay. Whenever I do these videos, people want to know how much am I paying for services and equipment. So I'm going to walk you through my past and current internet situation. So I have Spectrum cable, TV, and internet in my house. And basically, when I originally signed up for the internet package, I paid for the first 12 months $49.99 for 200 megabits per second, which was a modem / router built into one piece of equipment. Today, I'm paying $74.99, okay, but I get a bundled discount with my cable package for $9. And then what I did this year, in January 2021, or maybe it was December, last month, okay, of 2020, I upgraded for $20 more a month to 400 megabits per second. So I doubled my speed for $20 more a month. They gave me a router, which they were charging me $5 a month for. The problem is that I've got certain dead spots in my house. I have about a 4,000 square foot house with 3 floors. So I replaced the router with a TP-Link Deco S4 mesh network system, which is this right here. And I'm going to go over what this does and how it works a little bit later. Okay. And I bought it at Amazon for $134. So now that I'm not paying that $5, I'm down to $85.99 monthly for 400 megabits per second. And I'll still call the cable company once a year to see if I can get into a special program to get that price down for 12 months. And then I paid $134 on Amazon. And basically, I think I paid tax, but there's no delivery because I have Amazon Prime and I got Prime delivery and had it delivered in like 3 days. So that's what I'm paying today. Okay, 3 other tips to try when you're getting poor performance. One is make sure your router has the most current firmware, so the software would say, hey, there's a firmware update, and it would download it, turn off your internet connection for a few minutes, and then it'll update it to most current firmware. Next, you should always reset your modem, and resetting your modem doesn't necessarily mean unplugging and plugging it in again. Some have a button on it, some have software where it says reset modem, so it actually really cycles the modem. And if you can't find those two, then unplug it and plug it in. Unplug it for a minute and plug it back in. But reset the modem. And then the device you're using, you may want to check what it's connected to and reboot your device. So always do those 3 things when you're getting poor performance first. Okay, then the next things that to solve your problems, this is to summarize what we went over today, is 1, get an internet speed that's 200 megabits per second or faster. Like I said, I'm at 400. Make sure your signal is between -30 and -60 dBm, and use those free utilities that I showed you, the airport utility and the Wi-Fi analyzer, which are free, and check it in different parts of your home. All right. Next is make sure you're on a 5 gigahertz band, because that's got less interference than the 2.4 gigahertz that a lot of devices around your house are using. And also, while you're checking out the dBm, see what channels your neighbors are on and look at the channel your network's on and see if they're using the same channel. If you're on 5 gigahertz, then it's very unlikely. But check it, because that could also be a problem causing interference. And then if you've got dead spots in your house, or even if you're in an apartment and it's thick walls and you can't get a signal in a certain place that you really want to work, or be entertained or whatever using your devices, then put in a mesh network. Do not use extenders, repeaters, or boosters networks. And by the way, even though I bought TP-Link Deco, Google is a good one. There's a few of them out there. You can just check them out, how they're rated. TP-Link was one that's pretty popular, and it's very reasonably priced. Thank you.